Hey the berries, welcome to the support 14.6 support tier list and patch notes. As always, every 2 weeks we go through the patch notes, the official notes, and then my tier list. My tier list is catered towards if you're brand new to League of Legends, all the way up to around about late Emerald. Once you enter into like Diamond onwards, the gameplay kind of changes slightly in terms of the meta, and usually a lot more like one-trick pony kind of stuff there. This patch is probably the most depressing support patch of the entire season. So I hope you haven't already had a bad day, because this will make you feel a lot worse. So it looks quite innocent on this because, you know, the only nerfs that you kind of see there are like the Karma and the Senna, and they actually don't really impact support a huge amount, the Karma and Senna nerfs. They've cunningly tucked it away really under systems. So we've got the Source to Slay system change and the support income system change. So, and also there's items as well that we're going to be needing to talk about, the epic items, which are also nerfs for a lot of supports as well. So, buckle in. Alright, so as always, we just go straight to the kind of support stuff. We don't talk about the other champions. Looks like Gallo did get a lot of changes. So the Karma stuff, right now Karma is reasonably powerful after you've nerfed it 2 or 3 times back to back, Riot, and yeah. Anyway, Riot may be overreaching with reasonably powerful support Karma. She's got nerfed a lot because of mid lane Karma, and now this is like probably the final thing that really kind of pushes mid lane Karma out of the game because they don't like it at all. So they're reducing the mana growth per level, so less mana per level, but you're getting more mana regeneration per level, which is more beneficial for support because support items like World Atlas, for example, and Fairy Charms, they are based off your base mana regeneration. So if your mana regeneration is higher, the Fairy Charm essentially will give you more mana regeneration. So this is actually like a potentially like a minor support buff in terms of mana regeneration. Gathering Fire, the passive has gone down from 5 seconds to 4 seconds, so that is enough to support Karma. Mana cost going flat Q, not really a massive change overall. I'd probably say like it's a minor buff for support Karma. Mantra cooldown is going up and being increased slightly over time, so this is a nerf to all types of Karma. But this is a minor buff here too, where your Mantra E shield bonus is going to be increased by a little bit. 25, I think that is. Kind of what? 25, 15, 5, minus 5. They just don't like late game Karma. So yeah, Mantra shield aura being increased. I mean, you're not doing Mantra E that often during laning phase, so this will probably be like even-ish by the time you might want to do Mantra E's, which is like mid-game onwards really. Like in lane, you're not really going to be doing that too often. It's going to be Mantra Q for poking in lane. So nothing really changing here for support Karma, apart from maybe some slightly better mana management, but I never really felt like she had that many mana issues in lane anyway. So yeah, Karma's going to be feeling probably on the whole slightly worse because of the Mantra cooldown increase and the passive increase as well. Yeah, because you're getting less cooldown per spell that you're landing. Okay, so yeah, I mean Karma's support's not been in a great situation anyway, so that nerf is kind of oof. Senna 80 carry has been nerfed, just so that you're aware. I know that's been a thing on the Rift for a while. Now they're basically trying to kill it by reducing the amount of spawn generation on the minion kills by a dramatic amount, so you should start seeing fewer Senna 80 carries. Smolder getting nerfed. He's broken. He was broken. Okay, so as you saw through there, like the champions like listings, like this is quite an unusual patch. Usually I'm talking more about like champion specific nerfs and buffs before we even get to this point. Like that was absurdly fast to get straight to like items, but this is where the satch happens. So basically the TLDR of this patch is that pretty much all AD carries are going to be stronger, especially if they are crit. Affinity Edge getting buffed, and Navori Quick Blade's getting bluffed. Yeah, they're getting bluffed. And Lord Dominique's and Mortal Reminder getting bluffed as well. You can't now buy a Doran's item with a World Atlas or a jungle item. So some people were like doing Doran's Blade start and then going back to base and then picking up a World Atlas. You can't do that now. That's spooky tech. And now we're having the World Atlas nerf. So basically, if you can't be bothered to read all of this, you should get wards at roughly the same time as you were, maybe slightly later, slightly delayed, depending on how much you are roaming around and stuff like that. But generally, it should be roughly the same, maybe about 30 seconds later than usual. The biggest thing from this is that the bonus gold that you're getting from doing the harassment and, you know, killing minions and stuff, it's going down from 500 to 400 before you can convert into the actual ward item, and then it's going down from 1000 gold to 800 gold. So basically what Riot did was they literally just stole 200 gold from us. They're like, supports are too rich. All of that CS they're getting, too much, right? So they took 200 gold from us, which doesn't sound an awful lot in theory, but 200 gold, that's already like nearly 3 control odds in terms of vision power. This is gonna hurt your inventory. This is gonna delay a first core item spike. There's also some other item changes, nerfs specifically, are also impacted by this. So even when you can buy some of these epic items that are coming up, they're already going to be weaker anyway. So you're getting less money. Your money's now not even worth like as much as it was before. So yeah, it's this patch is kind of just miserable. I don't know why, like support, I don't know. I don't think support's I honestly thought support was like an okay situation, or a couple of outliners maybe. Maybe they could have treated some of the AP supports in particular a little bit more harshly, and like this is like one answer to that, I guess, but it's like this affects every single support player and it's just miserable. Souls to Slay also getting nerfed again for like the 3rd or 4th time. So yeah, I don't know. It's not a nice feeling, honestly. Whatever. No point me complaining. I'm just a messenger, right? So epic items are getting nerfed. So Warhammer getting nerfed, so it doesn't really impact supports. The big one, really, here, if you look at everything here, is actually the Fiendish Codex. Ability power getting nerfed from 35 to 25. Now you might be asking, oh, but Bizzleberry, I don't really build Fiendish Codex. You kind of do. If you go Staff of Flame Water, there's a Fiendish Codex. If you play Sona and go Archangels, you build a Fiendish Codex. If you're an AP support user and you build like Malignance, there's a Fiendish Codex in there. So yeah, and Haunting Guys was also getting a little bit nerfed there with the 5 AP. Hex Tech Alternator, if you had that in any of your kits, that's also getting nerfed. You wanted Lethality on Pike or Senna, that's getting nerfed too. So you can't get around it by going into the AD route on supports. We've also got I believe this is a minor nerf to Spectre's Cowl. We have a Verdant Barrier total cost reduction, which is quite nice. It's like the one thing that's a support could maybe buy down the line if they wanted a Banshee's Veil. But that's it. Lethality does get nerfed. So the one kind of thing really, item-wise, this patch, which is like nice for supports, is honestly, unless you play Senna or Pike, lethality is going down from 8 to 5, and then you've got serrated Dirk damage reduction going down from 25 to 20. So that means people are going to be taking a little bit longer to die. I mean, if you can also like a little bit longer to die during like the laning phase and like mid game when some of these components are being picked up. Now, if you're playing an Enchanter, it means you're a bit less squishy now, because enemy teams literally have less damage. You should survive more on playing Sona and Soraka and all those kind of champions. If you are looking to pick up these items to do damage, you are going to suffer. So that is like the one redeeming thing here. If you're playing like an Enchanter, I'd say like overall, even though you're losing 200 gold, everyone else in terms of some of these epic items are losing damage spikes until they complete the item. I don't believe they've lost ability power when you fully complete the item. It's just like this little intermission of where you are building up items to complete the full item. That's where like the power has been taken out. So fully completed items are like now, I want to say like more powerful, but like you're getting more of a gold spike when you do fully complete one of those items. So I hope that kind of clarifies some stuff. And yeah, and then that's it. It's quite a dramatic patch. It's a really kind of like textural small patch, but this is gonna shake up a lot on the meta in terms of pretty much anyone that does damage, really. So, and then you also got the support income change. So this is going to slow down the game. I think this will make games longer, and I already felt like games were quite long anyway, like around about the 30 to 35 minute mark. I remember Riot making a big deal about reducing game length, and we got to the point where we're getting like 22, 23 minute games on average. It was kind of insane. I do like the longer games. I don't want to see like 50-minute games on the regular. Like the occasional 50-minute game every like 70 games or something is fine. But yeah, I feel like 30-ish minutes is around about a sweet spot. I think anything longer than that, it does start to feel like a little bit of a slog to play through. And it does end up feeling like, you know, if one person on your team goofs, it's kind of it, really. So, yeah. Anyway, we're jumping to the tier list. This is what I think. I'm going to be blunt. There aren't going to be a huge amount of adjustments in the bottom part of the tier list. I feel like tier 3 is tier 3. Like if you enjoy playing tier 3 champions or whatever, then that's fine. Karma's still sitting at tier 4. Very minor support buffs, if you want to say that they're buffs. Very minor. She's not budging from tier 4. She's kind of in Dedge mode right now. Blitzcrank moved down from tier 2 to tier 3. He's just not been performing in the lower brackets as he probably should be. Nothing else really I want to kind of like push into there. Some of the really overrated champions, by the way, I get some comments on the YouTube videos. Senna is giga overrated, guys. Yeah, she's been doing well as AD carry. Support, like, if you've been watching some of these support Smurf YouTubers playing Senna and then racking up the kills, it's going to give you a complete false impression of how the average Senna does in silver ELO, gold ELO. No offense, the majority of Senna players, if you are one of them, are pretty bad. And I would not necessarily like recommend most of you. This is kind of like a Smurf champion, honestly. I know a lot of people get salty that I don't put Senna higher, but that is just the reality of it. So if I had sunglasses here, I'd put them on and just say deal with it. Anything else here? Really? Not really. I think I did move Luda up from tier 4 to tier 3. So going back to like AD carries, crit AD carries in particular being stronger. Enchanters also making it harder for them to die. So games will last longer. In theory, Lulu should have a little bit more power and relevance. Unfortunately, though, AD carries are still generally pretty bad pre-gold. And I think EP supports like Zyra and Brand, even though they're technically probably the most nerf supports at the moment going into this patch, I think silver and below, you'll still have a lot of success on Teemo, on Brand, and Zyra. So if we go up, I have actually moved a lot of those AP supports into tier 2, the Zyra, the Brand, the Teemo. You could do AP Morgana. Could maybe be in a little bit kind of to Xerath. I think he's probably a high tier 3, if anything there. So I still think like, you know, these 4 champions here on the left of tier 2 are still going to be relevant and pretty good, hence why they're tier 2. I think they're just gonna fall off quicker. So like if you're in gold, you're probably going to see them start falling off a bit quicker, things like that. So it's probably still playable in gold. start falling off the cliff a little bit harder, because once you start getting into high elo brackets, the brand falls off the most, then the Zyra and the Teemo. The Zyra and the Teemo are roughly around about the same at the moment. I will probably say from overall in the entirety of the recent patches, Teemo has had probably the most generosity in terms of items, because Malignance did get cost reduction. So like a couple of patches ago, I think Malignance got reduced in gold by either 100 or 200 gold. So if like you take the current support gold minus 200 gold nerf into consideration, it kind of evens out a little bit. But yeah, these champions are still going to be fine. Anything in tier 2 here is going to be still fine. But tier 1, as you might have kind of guessed, I really do think the enchanters, especially once you start having slightly better AD carry, so once you're moving up into like gold, these are the kind of champions that are going to be standing out the most, really. Like, if I was going to do it as a new player and literally the only thing I cared about was ELO, I would play Zyra and Brand pretty much most of the time, going up until silver and gold, and then I'll be playing like the Janna, the Sona, the Soraka, and the Milio. If I wanted to play hard engage for whatever reason, then that kind of option is there with the Leona. I think Leona's still going to be pretty good, even with the Solstice Stay nerf. But yeah, I think it's a really big Enchanter patch. I don't know how a lot of people feel about that. Just the fact that people are going to be surviving a lot longer. I think Soraka is going to, and Sona in particular, are going to be really, really good. I know Fiendish Codex took a little bit of a hit there, so that's going to affect Sona as she's building up the Archangels. But overall, like, Sona, one of the squishiest supports in the game, she's going to have more survivability. Soraka, one of the big squishiest supports in the game, going to have more survivability. So yeah, with like the Fallacy nerfs, AP nerfs on some of the items. So yeah, you should be able to get a couple of more, like literally one heal off or one shield extra off can change the fight massively. Can mean so that your AD carry or whoever you're healing or shielding doesn't die. Can prevent bounties being given over. It adds up quite quickly and stuff. So I think Enchanter win rate will start going up over the next few days by like about 1% to 2%. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of expecting right now. Yeah, and we'll see what Riot does about that the next patch. Yeah, I'm kind of scared to see what they do to Enchanters next patch. Honestly, I'm kind of getting mentally prepared now for an Enchanter nerf going into the patch after this, but we'll have to wait and see. I think we'll have to wait 1 week and then try and figure out like if these champions are actually giga popping off like I'm kind of predicting, because I think they will. I think Soraka, I think in particular, I think is probably the most promising one there right now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the tier list and the patch notes. I will be streaming on twitch.tv/Bizzleberry from around about 9 o'clock in the morning. Nice fresh early start, 9 o'clock in the morning UK time, playing for about 4 or 5 hours, and I'll probably do an evening stream and then streaming again on Thursday. So lots and lots of League of Legends and content coming on Wednesday and Thursday. There's a coaching session also that I need to put up onto YouTube, a Zyra coaching session. Yeah, so I'm planning on playing lots and lots of League over the next couple of days, because I'm kind of wanting to play some Dragon's Dogma 2 on Friday. That comes out on Friday, and I fully intend to play that, and if I enjoy it, then I won't be streaming anything else other than Dragon's Dogma 2 from Friday onwards. So if you want to catch the League content, come and stream Wednesday and Thursday, and if you want to see me die in Dragon's Dogma, then you're more than welcome to come tune in also on Friday onwards. All the best, and yeah, hope you weren't too sad after the patch notes. All the best. Take care, berries. Bye.